Hi guys, it's Angela, Create Your Future. Happy Saturday. I am back today with a new video and I want to talk about how the 3D doesn't matter. Circumstances do not matter ever when you are manifesting. And I really want to encourage you with this. And I have a story that I'm going to share. But I do want to remind you about our free course that we're giving away, How to Find Your Blocks and Manifest Anything. So important, guys, to find the blocks because that's the only thing between you having your desire, between you and you receiving that desire. It's finding the block and dissolving that so that your desire can just come into your experience. So really great course, very important. Also, I want to remind you that I do have my own course out, Awaken to I Am, and this is all about recognizing that the I Am is within you. You are the I Am, and stepping into that power state so that you can begin to walk in a place every day where you can manifest anything that you want from an easier place, from a place of knowing and confidence. So it's growing your faith, growing your confidence, and knowing you are the I Am in your reality. Okay, let's jump into this video about circumstances. Circumstances do not matter. The 3D does not matter. And we talk about this all the time. So I know, I get it, that when things show up in our reality that maybe we don't like, maybe it's the exact opposite of what we're manifesting, that can trigger us, that can give us that feeling within of fear, doubt, unbelief, anxiety. All of those emotions can begin to fill us internally. And that what is happening actually is the body is now becoming the mind. The body is reacting to things that are happening externally, and the body is making you feel as if you're not going to get your desire. The bad thing is going to happen. You're going to be stuck in this position. But you have a conscious thinking mind, right? And have you ever noticed if you are depressed or sad or anxious or fearful and you are feeling those emotions in your body, but you shift your thinking? You begin to think about something more positive. You begin to think about a better outcome. You begin to think about something that supports you. You shift your thinking, and then you begin to feel differently. You begin to feel more relaxed. You begin to feel more hope. You begin to feel more settled because your thoughts shifted. The body followed suit. So you have been given the gift of exercising your conscious mind regardless of what you see around you and directing your thoughts. And so that's what we have to do when we see things show up that are maybe contrary to what we want, maybe the opposite of what we're wanting. We have to remember that we can choose to take our power back, redirect our thoughts, redirect our thinking, and focus on what we do want. So just because we see maybe things that we consider negative show up, that does not mean you're not going to get your desire. Your 3D experience doesn't have any power at all. It is simply a reflection. That's it. It is a reflection of something within you, some experience, some feeling, something within you that's pushing out. But there is no power in the 3D experience. So regardless of what is showing up, you only have to persist in your internal story to see things shift into the reality that you do prefer. So I have this really great story that I absolutely love, and I'm going to share that with you. It came from an interview with a lovely actress named Cicely Tyson. She was a very popular, when I was growing up, a very well-known actress. And I believe she has passed on. She's no longer living right now. But I came across this interview and I thought, wow, this is amazing. So in this interview, she talked about how she wanted the lead role in a movie called Sounder. And again, this is like a movie from way back in the day, 1970s. I remember the movie when I was growing up. And she wanted the lead role for that movie. In fact, she read the script and she felt like that role was made for her and she was made for the role, and she just knew that she should have that lead role. She was going to play the lead role, knew it with a lot of conviction, a lot of knowing, a lot of confidence. So she went to an audition for the role, later met with director's producer, and she was told, we don't think you're right for the role. You are not what we're looking for this role. I believe they offered her a small role, maybe a supporting role, and she declined that. She said, I want to play the lead role. That's all that I'm interested in. And they said, well, we are going to continue our search for the actress to play the lead role. I think the character's name was Rebecca. We're going to continue our search. So I'm sorry, we're not giving you this role. But what she did, she went home, and she shares this in the interview. I encourage you to look it up and listen to her share her experience. But she shared that she went home and she began to prepare for the role as the lead actor and actress in the movie Sounder, Rebecca. She, I guess, rehearsed her lines and began to research the character and prepared for the role like it was hers. And I think in that interview, she said it was maybe like a month or 6 weeks later, her manager called her and said, guess what? I was contacted by the producers of the movie Sounder, and they've decided they're going to go with you after all. And her response was, great, when do we start? And her manager said, well, aren't you excited? I mean, this is what you had been wanting. Aren't you happy about this? And she said, I already knew it was mine. I knew from the time that I read that script that that role was for me. I already knew. I was just waiting for everybody else to realize that and catch up with me. That was her response. She was so confident and so comfortable in knowing that she was going to have that role, regardless of what happened externally around her. She was declined initially. They looked at many other actresses for the role. I believe they even offered the role to somebody else, but nothing worked out because internally she persisted in knowing that that role was for her. She was even nominated for an Academy Award for that role. And I think it's in that same interview that she talks about how she had, watched the Academy Awards on TV, like all of us. And she said, one day that will be me sitting there in that audience. I'm going to be nominated for an award. And she was. So I don't know if she really knew about law of assumption or she just had that internal strength and belief within herself, but she persisted in her desire and her knowing that that thing that she could see herself doing was her reality, that it was going to happen. She had the confidence. So listen, guys, the 3D may show up sometimes and you feel like you've been thrown a curveball. Like, where did this come from? I don't know what's happening. Doesn't matter. The 3D is going to shift and change to support your internal story if you persist in your internal story. Persist in believing in who you are. Persist in growing your confidence that you can have to be anything and you are worthy of anything. Persist in the story and the outcome that you prefer. Persist in believing in the power within you, that your thoughts are actually shifting you to the reality that you prefer, to the outcome that you want. Grow all of these things, your story about your desire, your story about your worth, and the story about the power that is within you, that is leading you to whatever it is that you focus on. So guys, the 3D does not have power. The 3D cannot create. You are the only one that's creating. And if we can take our power back when we see those things show up, those things that I know can be hurtful, can be painful, can be scary, but take our power back, strengthen ourselves, settle ourselves with our conscious thinking mind, settle your body, calm yourself, and begin to focus on the outcome that you prefer. The 3D is going to show you that. You're going to shift into that reality. And the minute you begin to think like that, You are already in that reality. You are in that lane that is now leading you to that desired outcome. So I intend that this really motivated you. I love that story. I go back and listen to it sometimes just to remind myself of how powerful we are and how this particular beautiful lady, got that role for the amazing movie. So look that up. It might be really motivating for you as well to look that up and hear her share that piece. It's really, really motivating for me. I intend that you have just really been motivated to continue in your persistence and in your desire. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.